even when you don't want to sack a manager, you're just going to have to look at yourself in the mirror and say, listen, it's not working. We're giving him a chance, he's brought the boys up. We're giving him a chance to compete. He's not doing it. And I think the first managerial sacking that we could see could be coming from. Welcome, guys, to another episode of Let's Talk 7. This week, we're going to be talking about 7 predictions for the Premier League season ahead of us. We're well underway with the Premier League season this weekend, with a run of games that's taken place already. I've got 7 predictions for this season, and we're going to start with my first prediction. But before we do that, make sure to like and subscribe, and let's get the channel popping and getting more people to be able to watch it by liking the video. So as soon as you come in, guys, just give it a like, and please leave a comment at the end, towards the end, in terms of if you liked it, and just get involved in the discussion. So my first prediction for this Premier League season is going to be the top 4. Are we going to see a new top 4? And from what we've seen this weekend already, I'm going to stay with what I had predicted before we even kicked off this weekend. And that's that the top 4 is not going to change. We're going to see the 2 Manchester clubs back into the top 4, and they're going to be followed by Newcastle and Arsenal again. The order of the top 4 for me is going to be different this time. I'm going to go with United to win the season. I've got to be optimistic. That's my club. And if I don't choose United, then what am I doing? So I'm going to go with United to win the league. So the title stays in Manchester, with City a close second, Newcastle in third, and Arsenal finishing 4th. Chelsea and Liverpool had a great game this weekend, but do I see any of them 2 breaking into the top 4? It's possible. But off what I predicted and what I thought with the summer that we've had so far in the buys, I still see it staying the same and not changing. So that's my first prediction for this season coming ahead, that we're going to finish with United, City, Newcastle and Arsenal. That's my top 4 prediction for this season. Now my second prediction is going to be who will be the Golden Boot winner, who's going to be the top goal scorer. Can I see anyone taking it off Erling Haaland? No, I can't. I believe that Haaland's still going to be the top goal scorer. The guy's a beast. He's something else. He's just a beast. In front of goal, his calmness. He's got all types of finishes in the box. As long as you feed him, and we know City are great at feeding him the balls and getting him the balls where he wants it in the box. I just can't see anyone actually really taking off him. If there is someone that will run him a close second, I think it's going to be Mo Salah. I'll give it to Mo Salah. Mo Salah is always there or thereabouts. I think if anyone's going to run him close, it's going to be Mo Salah, but I just can't see Erling Haaland not winning the Golden Boot. And that's my second prediction for this season's Premier League. My third prediction for this season is going to be what player to watch out for. The player to watch out for, and a player that I liked a lot, that from what I saw from him last season, it's got to be Newcastle's Isak. Newcastle's Isak is something else. He's, to me, is a player that went under the radar when Newcastle bought him. And I think a lot of people, because there was always a lot of noise about him, he was linked to a lot of clubs, Man United, Arsenal, I believe even Chelsea at a time. But he never got that move, and then he finally ended up at Newcastle, and I think that he's one of those top strikers. What would Arsenal do for someone like him, or Chelsea right now? Top quality, and I think this season he's going to have a great season, so he's my player to watch out for. Prediction number 4 for this season is going to be what team to watch out for. What's going to be the surprise package in the Premier League this season? I think a team that's going to do well and that's going to surprise many is going to be Roy Hodgson's Crystal Palace. He had them firing towards the end of last season, and we know that Patrick Vieira tried his best, coming towards the end before he actually got sacked. But I think Roy Hodgson's Crystal Palace, even though they've lost Saha to Galatasaray, I still believe that they're going to have a great season. I think they're going to be a team to watch out for. I'm not saying they're going to be finishing, top 6, but I think they're going to be there or thereabouts. I think they're going to be top 8, and I think they're going to have a great season where they play a lot of good football and turn over some big clubs and big teams, I should say. And I think people are going to enjoy watching Crystal Palace this season. My 5th prediction for this summer is manager to watch out for. What manager is going to surprise people? I think And I don't think it's a surprise, but I think Chelsea was so bad last season. Even when they announced, the signing of Pochettino, not a lot of people thought, okay, Poch, is it going to work? A lot of people believe that it's not going to work, and just because he's an ex Spurs manager and that rivalry they got between the two clubs, that it's just going to get the best of them. But I believe that Pochettino is going to galvanise this Chelsea squad, and he's going to give it a big push to try to get into the top four. And I think they're going to do much better than they did last season. I think we're going to see a style of play and from Chelsea that is going to be very attractive, very nice to watch, and a hard-working team. And I do believe, as I'm doing this video now, they still haven't signed Caicedo. But if Caicedo goes into Chelsea, then I think my top four predictions that I made in this video could really change. I think Chelsea are really going to push for that top four this season, and I think Pochettino's going to do a great job, and I think he's the manager to watch out for this season. My sixth prediction for this season is going to be the first manager to get sacked. Looking at the managers that's coming, or looking at the teams that's come up this season, it's easy to go for one of them, but I do believe that one of them will buckle, and I think it could be Luton Town. I think Luton Town could buckle earlier on and panic and feel like, can we afford to not be in the Premier League, and it being their first season. I think when push comes to shove, because they're a young team, first time in the top flight since 92. It's going to be a difficult season for them, and I think if they're struggling come Christmas and they're not getting any wins at all, it comes to a point where even when you don't want to sack a manager, you're just going to have to look at yourself in the mirror and say, listen, it's not working. We're giving him a chance, he's brought the boys up. We're giving him a chance to compete. He's not doing it. And I think the first managerial sacking that we could see could be coming from Luton Town FC itself. My seventh prediction for this season's Premier League is going to be from the top four sides. Who will go the furthest in the Champions League? And I believe that it's easy to say, but I think Arsenal could. I thought I was going to put them on Newcastle, but I think Arsenal could go the furthest in this year's Champions League out of the top four sides. I think we could see Arsenal going the furthest, and this is why I think they'll struggle in the league and finish fourth. But I think that they will have a good run in the Champions League, and it might end up semi-finalists, where the rest kind of only get to the quarterfinals. So I do see Arsenal, I think, having the best run in the Champions League this season. I could be wrong, guys. I don't know what you guys think about it. Those are my 7 predictions for this season's Premier League. If you agree with me, let me know in the comments. If you don't, let me know. But anyway, guys, until we play tomorrow, I'll be back with another Let's Talk 7 and see how we get along tomorrow. Hopefully we can get the job done against Wolves. I'm very confident that we can do. But again, it's a new start to the season, and it's been a bit, up and down in pre-season. We've won a few games, lost a few. I'm just hoping that the striker issue with Højlund still not being ready isn't going to come to bite us in our first game. But come on, United, let's do it. Let's get the 3 points and move on to the next. See you guys in the next video. Let's Talk 7. I'm out.